All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Boss Talk Podcast. We are back. We took a break for a bit. It's been a long time, but we're here now.
Hey, bosses need vacations too. Yeah, so yeah, don't have a mind and everything like that. So yeah, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I've been good, bro. Holidays were good and everything.
Pretty hectic. Yeah.
But anyway, I want to welcome our guest. We got our guest Randy today.
Let's give him a little round of applause. Background, brother. Yes, sir.
Give them a little intro about you, Sandro. What is the thing you do?
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Randy Marx. I'm an artist producer from East Los Angeles, California. That's it.
Where can they find you at on the gram social?
RandyMarx.com.
There it is.
Yeah.
Even better. See, you niggas is giving out handles. We giving out websites. So
Already did.
it's different. It's different stuff.
There for those three scenes. All right.
Yeah, man. So what we do here every time we do one of these episodes is we start off with a boss talk. And you know, because the whole concept of this show is letting people know who are entrepreneurs or just anybody who knows how to keep the lights on like we don't.
Yep. It likes to turn gin room lights on.
They say in Motel 6, I guess, huh?
No.
They won't keep the lights on.
We leave them this end too, you know what I'm saying? So because when you're a boss, it don't even matter, right? Let them turn the lights on. I'm still going. Hey, bitch, hold on a second. Side note. You seen them cutting them lights off? Jim, who is it? Fabulous and
50. How 50 was there?
did he cut the lights off?
Oh my God.
Was it him who cut the lights off?
Yeah, 50 has something to do with it.
Oh, that's crazy. That's great.
Well, I think we about to call him, bro.
Yeah, I'll call him on fleet.
What these?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that, like why it's going on and on. As I was saying before that interruption, we leave all that in too, but the boss talk. Today's boss talk is about re-strategizing. So, you know, at times you have a strategy, a way that you're trying to get to your goal, and you will be set in that way. It's never too late to pause and be like, you know what, we need to switch the strategy up. And you don't want to get stuck in something and shoot yourself in the foot and not be able to reach the goal. Mm-hmm. So that's today's boss talk, is re-strategizing.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure, bro. I've definitely had to re-strategize a lot of different like avenues in my life because you think everything's gonna work out this way. You know, you build this plan and you want to stick to it and you trust it, but then something stops it, and you got to be able to maneuver. You got to be able to call that audible and be like, okay, maybe I got to go this route. And then once you find out you're going that route, then other things start to work out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've always had to take a long look in the mirror when I first did the placement with Street Fighter.
Right.
I was making a certain type of music before that, and I had a conversation with my colleague, 33 at the time, and just really looked internal and thought that, hey, this new audience is a global platform. It's a clean platform, not really secular, not really much cussing at all, actually. So I chose to rebrand my music at the time and start with a brand new catalog of cleaner music, motivational music, uplifting, just more soulful, you know, and such. And I found that it was the best decision I ever made. Yeah. So, you know, you always got to be able to pivot when needed. Sometimes we don't, right?
Right.
You know, we learn these harsh lessons. But even in the Bible, it says God will allow you to keep messing up until you realize it for yourself.
Right.
Because you have to work hard to change things, you know? You can't expect everything to be changed for you. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, somebody's going to pull the rug from under your feet. Then what?
Yeah. It's funny because that's actually leading to something that I want to talk about. And I want to talk about the struggles that we go through in our life as men or as human beings in general. You know, I'm happy to say where I come from and the struggles I got through in my life, because that's what builds character.
Absolutely.
You know, it makes you stronger in whatever other struggle that comes your way. It makes you humble. You know, you can't buy that type of stuff.
You see, you become refined is what I think, what I would like to think that it is. Because I know me personally, like, I feel like Superman every day I wake up, bro. Like, I feel like nobody could touch me because of what I went through. And I know everybody's going through something, but like what I went through, I don't even care no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no insecurities about anything. I don't care. That's why, like, just so these lights cut off, I know some people be running around the room like, oh my God, like, we're like lights cutting off. What?
How cool and collective.
I said in the Johnson, like lights cut off. I wouldn't care about that, you know? It's just so many different things, but the things that because at the time, I'm not going to sit there and pretend like when I was going through what I was going through that I was feeling big and strong because I wasn't.
Yeah.
It feels like the end of the world. It feels like the end of the road. But when you make it through and you keep going and you're able to get lifted back up by God, and put in other positions, that's when you learn and see, like, you know what, like, dang, what I thought was major, it wasn't major at all. It wasn't bigger than me.
Exactly.
You feel me? So
You know what, bro? You got to keep going through the storm in order to get through it. You know, they even say that like everybody runs from the storm, like all the animals, but buffalo, they run through it because they know on the other side of that,
that's a good one right there.
the weather's better.
Buffalo Wild Wings. That's good one in there once.
And another thing, you know what, bro? Like I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people in our industry are fake. You know, we keep it real. You guys are in the music industry, we're in entertainment, film, and all of that. But we talk about gatekeeping all the time and this and that. But just getting to know people, and all they do is talk nothing but highly of themselves or the good things that they have going in their life. But I never once heard you talk about any struggles you've been through. And honestly, I don't even trust those type of people. You can't even tell me the truth of what you've been through in your life. I'll gladly telling you what I've been through.
You know, they probably still have not. Like I told you, how I feel bigger than these situations that I've been through. They probably still feel smaller than those situations.
Like the insecurities, huh?
Yeah, they're still smaller than it. Like they lost a girl for some reason, and they're still that. Their whole career and life is about that girl that they lost, and I got to prove that I'm bigger than that in this situation, you know, or they got fired from a job, you know, it wasn't right, or whatever it was. Because I think we all been through a lot of, I guess you want to call them like unfair situations. People who had more power than you at that moment.
Yeah,
But
boy, life ain't fair.
yeah, you felt.
Yeah.
But see, now that's the thing about it is like, this is what I love right here. I love to give other people the power because them tables always turn. So I love to be underneath somebody else. And I want to know how you treat me. How do you treat me when you have the power over me? Because I know myself and I'm confident I'm going to be here tomorrow. All I got to do is just keep doing what I do. And God's going to, you know, travel me to the next day and the next and the next. Now that I'm in power, I remember what you were doing when I was down, you know, and it's not about revenge. It's just about, you know, you got to build a team, right? So like if I'm building a team, I don't have to do nothing to crush this person over here, but I can't bring you on this team because you are just not the right fit over here because I saw how you were before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because we're me and my buddy Andy were having this conversation on the way over here. So
Is that right?
you know, number one, you got to use discernment, and there's levels to it. You know, I mean, I understand everybody's going through their traumas from their childhood, adulthood. We're all going through it. But to be able to identify other people's struggles, what you said, what you've been through, what you're stronger from, you do realize what, like Nip said, circle got smaller, everybody can't go. Right. It's just the fact of life.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not growing, if you're not separating from those people, then what are you doing? Right? It's elevation requires separation. You know, key to getting out of the hood, moving into different forms of business, higher forms of business, the corporate world. You know, you always have to continue to level yourself up. If you're not, what are you doing?
Right. You just gonna stay your place. And with the people that leave behind, it's not necessarily that you're doing it out of hate or anything like that, because you level, but you could love that from afar.
Absolutely. And that's a harsh lesson for every man to learn on their own. Some people never learn it. Some people stay in the streets. I have close people to me that are still like that, you know, so I'm sure we all do. Again, word discernment. You know, you have to pray to God, ask for wisdom, ask for discernment, ask for clarity, you know, and then continue to push forward, man. I mean, it's hard every day. I don't wake up feeling like Superman every day. I want to know what you're taking, me.
Couple times. No, what? But no, I mean, it comes down to. I guess what I mean to say is that It's not that I don't have my days where I feel a little bit different, but I always remind myself, I'm always there to remind myself my accomplishments, like that name he sent me, my accomplishments. He sent me a meme. It was a dude. It said, what did it say? Like when you fumble the 10, he's just laying on the couch, just tore off. And it's like when your boy's reminding you all your accomplishments, and he's sitting there like all of a sudden his fit's getting better. Because you got to remember what you went through, right? You can't just be looking at yourself like I took this loss. Like Michael Jordan could get out there on the basketball court and lose a basketball game today. He can't forget all the rings that he has, the mansion that he's returning to, the shoe deal, and all those things. You can't win all the time, and I say that because God didn't make this world for one person. He made it for all of us, and He made it for more than one person to be great. And in order for you to be great, don't you got to take down somebody who's great? Which means somebody who's great got to lose at a certain point, and that might be you. You might have had your run. God might have given you everything that He could give you, that He intended for you to have. And today He's like, today, but you're going to be the example because you're still not God. You're still underneath me. And I'm using you to lift this other person up. And that's okay. Because it's not a thing of like, I could step on everybody else. I could, overcome everybody else, but nobody could overcome me. That's not the right mentality, right? There's another entity who wants us to believe that that's the right mentality, but it's not.
And it's like, we're not all out. Like a lot of people are just in competition with other people. I'm in competition with nobody. I just want to make up. I am in competition with one person, and that's myself. Yeah. I'm in competition with myself from yesterday. Today, I'm going to make sure I'm better than I was yesterday. Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up and I'll make sure I'm better than I was today.
Well said.
How do you feel about basically who is the people that are being put in power in different industries, music industry, workspaces, whatever? Do you feel like there's a balance right now with the right? Do you feel like it's balanced, or do you feel like there needs to be a change from what you see?
I feel like some people got to work harder, man, because everybody expects things to be given to them just because they're the dopest in their neighborhood or they see the world is a bigger place than LA for sure. So in this industry, as you know, there's plenty of gatekeepers. I've known plenty of them. I still do. Just like Moses was saying, I'm in my own lane. I feel very confident in my lane. There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. You gotta, I suppose you have to have a little bit of both technically, but in a sense of, I have a vision for myself. I know where I want to be. And I'm going to push in that lane, and I'm going to continue to grow and to work on my craft and get better. So, like I always say to my homies, hey, keep up or get out the way. We just got to keep moving.
Right.
Nothing personal. I'm on this wavelength right now. I'm on this natural high. I need to continue to chase this. This is what I'm supposed to do. And that's given me a lot of clarity over time. One thing that I like to add too, that I always like to talk about, is advocating for men's mental health. But it should be everybody's mental health, actually. So therapy's healthy, the gym healthy, your diet, your fasting. I got to do a lot more of that. But discipline, man. All of this, all these people are continuously working, stressed out, and living in survival mode. If you can, try to have a self-care day. Take the application like you talked about, like you guys just came back from. Mental health is super important, especially in a competitive industry like the music industry. It could break you. Yeah. Definitely.
I think it's, it's enough room for everybody in these places, but it's like the whole story with like the kids and like all of they had enough fruit. They had them in a circle and they said like, who's going to get what? And somebody went and just grabbed all of them instead of handing out one to everybody. It was enough for everybody. You always got greed. You always got somebody trying to take what's not theirs, or not being empathetic or, charitable, if you want to call it that. I think that right now, and not even just right now, even in the past, we had a lot of people kind of in the wrong position, like people who should have been in the position of like I don't want to call them the masses or like followers, but like in that realm of whatever, versus the people who were supposed to be the leadership. the thing for me that I always think is a trip, now I'm 35 now. So now I'm older than every rapper that I grew up listening to and the messages that I took in.
That's right.
So I can't be 35 taking in a message from a 25-year-old who didn't know nothing about life, a family, real responsibilities, what honor really is, and things like to that sort. And so that's why I say, like, do you feel like there's a balance? Because as I take a step back and look at the world, I'm like, it's the wrong people in these positions. We are looking up because now I'm like, I most definitely can't do it, bro. Like, I cannot look at somebody, and when I can,
Yeah.
I feel like I was telling you about that kid I show speed. Like when I see somebody younger than me and they really doing it, then I'm like, respect. You feel me? But it's just a lot of too many people with ignorant mindsets trying to, well, that are the leader because somebody put them there. You feel me?
That's our society too. Well, yeah, if now you're on county, you're good. I mean, that's our society, man. I mean, you have these influencers that are, like you said, low 20 years old, 19 and such, that are just blown up and being glorified on social media because they have millions of followers. Not all of them are gems. Yeah. We know in
Most saying.
yeah, their society.
It's literally because they have all those upward followers, bro. But it's clout. But yeah, like, who are you as a person? You know, what are your values like? Are you a loyal person? Do you value family?
Most of them ain't. You know, it's just the way, the nature of the beast. But you know, moving and growing through these industries, you know, I feel like you have to have a real tight circle. Number one, you know, you've had to have gone through a lot to continue because, like I was telling my boy, in this industry, I think I level up and I get some placements and I'm at a certain point and I open that door and there's like 100 more steps to go. Yeah, you know.
It's a journey, right? And I think because I do music too, and that was the thing for me is that thinking like I'm gonna get to here, I'm gonna get to here, and as I start entering certain rooms and working with certain producers, and I'm seeing the plaques on the walls, I see who they work with. You know, I'm impressed the first time I see it, and then you start to realize that a lot of these things don't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because what are we really doing here? This is a lot of smoke and mirrors. You feel me?
Well, my boy, I gotta tell you, a lot of that stuff just paid for.
Of course, not a lot of it. All of that is paid for because like that's what I'm saying. Like these are certificates for you. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's all paid for. The whole thing. I'll give you a quick story. I'm not gonna name no names, but I actually reached out to an entertainment attorney like some years ago, and they plugged me in with a big name producer, like a really big name producer. The producer heard the music and was like, "Yeah, let's come through." So I travel out of state to where his compound is at because he has a whole compound, right? I get there, I get into his studio, I see the plaques on the walls. And at the same time, for me, he's a producer. And bro, in this day and age, I could go anywhere and get beats. You know what I'm saying? I could just go online and it's a like world-class producer selling beats for $50, $100, you know?
Shoot, now you go on Suno for $10.
Oh, right. So anyways, I'm telling my people at the time, like, yo, I'm not even really impressed with this. I'm just going for the networking, you know, like I don't really care for whatever. And when I get there though, what he showed me on his computer was like, I'm not even exaggerating, like literally nothing but hits. Every song that he showed me was a hit and it already had a big name artist already on there. And it's like, yo, look, check this, 40K, you can have this one. 100K, you can have this one. 120K, you can have this one. And I'm not talking about just like sideline cats. I'm talking about like people who were at that time the biggest popping artists, and the song is hot.
The Biddy War, huh?
Yeah, and so you know, long story short, the investment that I had at the time fell through because that was the whole purpose I was there, was to actually purchase one of these tracks. And the producer's like, "Yeah, bro, like, you know, you got it and everything like that. Like, you know, you got to just convince them and everything." I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, if I got it, then why are you not just throw me on this track? Let's just support, right?
Let's work together. Let's make something out of it. Do hustling, man.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, this is like 7 years ago, by the way. But so for me, I'm just like, I really start to realize you can get through these doors, and if you're not connected in the right way, and sometimes even when you are, it's still a lot of smoke and mirrors. So I don't have that excitement anymore. When I go to do stuff, I do it for a passion. I'm not like there getting excited because I met this person or I'm here dealing with this guy. The names don't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
None of that matters. Like, what are we doing here today? I'm excited to sit here with y'all to have this conversation.
That's right.
And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, because I got suited and booted, you feel me? Like, we threw a logo on the TV and I'm excited to defend this.
Yeah.
It don't have nothing to do with anything else. If we get 2 views on this, that's a victory to me. You feel me? So that's where I'm at with it.
I feel it, bro, for sure. Even with like being with people, networking with people in the industry and shit, right? Like we've gone through this a lot, bro. Where like people will talk so much hype. Oh, bro, we got to do this, 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 and this. All right, cool. Let's make it happen. And me and this guy are the ones that we make it happen, bro. We were very fast, and all of a sudden we're doing stuff, and then it all falls through because this person ends up ranking or something, or it's like it was just all clout, and they wanna big themselves up, yeah, but they're really not.
That's frustrating, man. That's you're gonna find that most of the industries like that are they even testing you to see if you're gonna go out of your way for them. But then to a lot of yards, that's a bit this. Yeah. But you know, that's BS. I mean, I always laugh and joke and say if I wasn't the artist, I would definitely be a manager because I'm ambitious and I'm out there snoozing and shaking hands at the same time. Going to NAM next week, gonna make hella connections and get more sponsorships and more partnerships. You know, we're gonna make it happen. Simple as that. Yeah. I don't know how. I'm just gonna show up and do what I do.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself. You know. Yeah. At the end of the day, so who asked you?
God is me. And I got me too. Exactly.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at, bro.
Yeah, it's a thing where it's like when you have that confidence in yourself, instead of other people, that's when the mountains move, you know? So it's like when you go out there and you're not thinking like, man, if this person does this for me, then I'm gonna get somewhere. You got to know, like, if this person connects with me, they're doing themselves a favor. You know?
That's right.
And that's one of my tenets that I live by. And Moses is a knows because I'm older than Moses, but we're still close in age. But a lot of the time, like me and him will talk in private about stuff, and I be telling Moses all the time, like, bro, like I don't care about these people. It's tell you I'm not lying. Like somebody said something, like, bro, like they lost. If they're not gonna do this, then they lost out, and I mean that to my soul. So one of the things I want to talk about is what do we brag about? Every day I see people talking about certain things and they want to brag about it. And I ask myself again, as I'm getting older, I'm looking, is this something that you should even really be bragging about? You know, what is the impact of it? I'm not going to brag about me, myself personally, everybody do what they want to do. I'm not going to brag about the cars that I have, the money that I make or anything. As a matter of fact, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like super secretive with things. Right. You know, I get something and I just enjoy it in private. Like, nobody knows.
Buddy, you search.
Yeah. Anything. Or when you lost money and it's like, hold up, this time I'm like, that'll be how you say something. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's looking at you. Don't read the life. They're like, no, it's that broke. It's still broke, Rusty. I don't have to put it, but feel me? So, like, one of the things, just yesterday, so my family's from Mississippi, and my grandmother flew in for Christmas. She's a widow right now. My grandfather passed away about 2 years ago, excuse me. And you know, it's a thing now where we try and make sure that we're there for her to have, so she has company. I never really saw something like this up close and personal. Like when somebody loses the love of their life after so many years and their whole life they were spent with this person and now they're alone and they got to figure out things on their own. Like somebody else was taking the car to the mechanic and now they're like, well, how do I do that? You know, like, cause they never had to worry about it. Bond was so tight. And so it's kind of difficult for me because right now she's staying with my aunt in Upland and I'm in Alhambra. And so, you know, the drive that, you know, how traffic hour gets, it just gets insane. And on top of that, I got my kids. I got to pick them up out of school. Just a whole fiasco of things I got to like maneuver through. So finally, I just got the sense like, man, you know what? She really needs me over there. So I'm like, even if I can't do much, I'll just go take her out to lunch or something like that. Let me go pull up, take her out to lunch. So yesterday, drove out there, picked her up, took her to Cheesecake Factory, had a real good conversation with her. And I know that made her day. And then I dropped her back off. And on the drive home, I'm thinking, I'm the man, bro. Like, what? I'm out here taking my grandma out and everything like that. And I'm thinking, like, this is what makes me proud. I'm not proud that, like, I took down this female or that female. I'm not proud of this. I'm proud that I made this one and who I value so highly feel good for even if it was for an hour, 2 hours.
Right.
So it's like, what do we brag about? What do you have in your life? What do you brag about, Mel?
I'm worried about my peace, to be honest.
There you go.
You know, like I ain't here to impress nobody. I want to impress my family, if anything. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at in my life right now because I protect my peace. I don't mean nothing going against that. Like if you're gonna make my life difficult, I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
You know, that goes with therapy, bro. I mean, that's where I'm at right now, bro.
I feel that.
Yes, sir. I agree. I mean, I tell every female I meet, be my peace, not my pain. It's right there. I got too much of that.
And then they never listen. What about?
Oh, grandmas are special people. I'm very blessed to have both of mine, grandmothers, and shoot, they drive me crazy sometimes. Look at a lie, but they're like my mothers too. I was raised by my grandmother and my grandpa. Sorry. So those are my true parents growing up. I do realize at times since I'm going so hard all the time, or I'm consumed mentally, or I'm stressed out because I got to get something done, whatever the case is, music, whatever. I do have to remind myself, hey, try to make more time for your grandparents. You're not gonna have them forever. It's the hard, cold truth, you know. I can just imagine. And condolences for your grandfather, but I try to imagine, how it is even harder. Yeah, number one, lose the love of your life, but yeah, I mean, they've been together for what, maybe 40, 50 years or something like that. Yeah, that's insane, man. You know, so we got to remind ourselves as we are becoming bosses and bossing up. Yeah, family is the roots of everything. They could be gone tomorrow, and I don't want to confess that, put that energy out there, but we just have to use our judgment to make that time, no matter if we feel like crap or whatever. If we're too busy, hey, like I said, you drove out to about an hour or so, right? To
Sometimes I left at the right time.
okay.
So it's a good quick till 35, 40. Yeah, but on the thing that like was it, man? I seen like I think it was outside just playing volleyball. Cause great light Charlie, you feel me? So yeah. It's crazy too because speaking of grandparents, I feel like a lot of the times we don't see the same type of love and unity as back then. Matter of fact, they don't even preach that. Nowadays you got red pill podcasts and everybody telling you you don't need a woman or what is she bringing to the table, and then you got dudes talking about you ain't man enough because you don't make this money and yada yada, right?
Hey, those are just opinions, man.
Yeah, it's stupid opinions at that. Yeah, like and I just feel like I'm married. Me and my wife, we haven't been married for 15 years, but we've been together for about 15 years. And then I talked to Moses, or I talked to anybody else. In particular, I was talking to the other homie, and I from other people I hear like, dang, that it's crazy out there right now. It's like the dating bulls, the dating scene, because I'm always trying to encourage my people like, bro, they'll get you one, get one. We get married.
And we'll find her in LA. Say, hey, do you know that be always telling me to go just saying like, bro. But it's like you gotta expand our boundaries and go out and find them.
Yeah. For bros. He's on me get to a whole nother like Colombia. I had cheap. But the thing that I was bringing up was just that what's happening, bro? Because I'm off the loop. Say I didn't know. What's going on outside right now? I don't know if you're in a relationship or not, bro, but I don't know. I'm again like
I'm what is it, pre-choice or pro-choice? I'm working on my business, man, and I'm trying to level up, and I'm really grateful to have a lot of my homies and friends that are older than me to be mentored by some of them, to learn from some of them. I've always done my best learning. They just say off of other people's mistakes. So I'm too cautious at times.
Yeah.
And that's not a good way to live either.
Right.
Because you have to make your own mistakes for sure. But I do learn a lot from other homies, things, mamas, drama, and stuff like that. So I'm a little traumatized by that too. But other than that, I'm trying to get myself set in this industry, this conglomerate of an industry. Yeah, where I'm a true independent artist without a label, without a real team, without a budget per se. My boy's always telling me, he's like, one way to find out if people are full of it or not is like to ask them, what's your marketing budget?
Yes.
To see if they to set them apart from, you know, the amateurs of the profession.
Right.
So that sticks with me. So I start to look for things like that.
I think that's sound advice. I would even turn that into like honesty behind it, right? So like me personally, I'll give you an example. We went and we filmed something, or we helped somebody film something the other day. And when we were there, I told him, and I've been raving about this one particular person the whole time about how I felt this person was talented on camera. I don't know this person's social media numbers. I don't know how many followers they have. I don't know none of that. All I know is what I saw that day. And because of that, because I'm a writer too. So I write scripts. I'm in the middle of writing a book right now. It's gonna be like 300 pages. And I'm like 170 in right now. So
What's it called?
I can't, that's, you know what I mean? You feel me? Cool not.
Yeah, but don't be looking out for it.
Yeah. Just to touch on that, like the authoring world it's a little bit different. It's kind of crazy, right? Because then you can kind of if you put something out beforehand, then the bigger publishers kind of like skip over you because they want to be like, nobody's seen this, nobody's heard of this. We want to give you the publishing and we want to put it out. But man, I'm excited, bro. I really can't wait to finish it. I'll even, as soon as it's done, I'll shoot it over to you.
When can we expect it?
I'll probably be done with these last like 100 or so pages like next week. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, we're working fast. Oh, and so that's good, man. You know, one thing that I didn't want to bring up that we talked about earlier about gatekeeping and such.
Right.
I want to let you guys know that I did recently was invited to a really great once in a lifetime opportunity. It was called the Sony Experience for Artists.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but professionals, nothing but Grammy nomination artists, Grammy award-winning artists and producers, you know, composers, musicians, just talented people out of the mountains in Topanga. It was set up for independent artists to come together and thrive. They set up the campsite, the villas, the lodges, the tents, the cabins and such. There was Sony microphones, Cali audio monitors and such. And they're like, hey, just go to town to create. We're going to feed you. They give us lunch, they give us dinner, snacks, all you could drink, all you could eat. And it was a great experience overall because I was surrounded by nothing but professionals and nothing but positive energy and nothing but people that want to see you win. They're there to not compete with you, but to collaborate. Everybody's uplifting. It was such a great experience. So not all of the industry is like that. There are those gems out there. I think there needs to be more things like this. So shout out to Sony and Cali Audio for the special invites. I can't wait to go back this year. They do it once a year. It's at a place called Elsewhere in Topanga. But you know, coming out of that experience in November, I've never been to anything like that. I've never been invited to anything like that. I did not know what to expect right in the woods, you know, just jamming out.
Yeah.
Just being creative and tapping in. For people from all over the world too. People flowing from the East Coast, from Canada, from France. You know, I'm talking about just a place that's solidified for greatness, you know, and I felt a little bit intimidated. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a rapper. I'm a little bit of a vocalist, you know. I don't really want to jump on the keys and produce here because you have people playing the guitar and people playing instruments and composing, you know. There's no room for AI and anything like that, you know. You want to have everything as organic as possible. So one of the tracks that I was able to jump on was with a artist, well-known artist. I don't want to name him just yet, but he had a violinist jump on the track too, and I did my thing, and it was incredible, man. Just being there in the moment, especially being out in the woods, you don't have very much cell service. So the whole idea, of course, is to tap in with Mother Nature and stuff, and you know, just be creative and do you and have fun. So, you know, that being said,
It's just another side of the industry. It is. It's and that's something that first of all, like we're in the industry. So I can't say that the whole thing is negative because here we are, right?
Right.
We may be at a different stage, but definitely there's good people everywhere, just like they say it's good cops. I don't know where they are, but they say there's so. But like the whole point being is that you know, I understand what you're saying, and I agree, bro, 100%. And honestly, I'm actually, that's a blessing that you are able to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people have horror stories or being taken advantage of or whatnot.
Right.
And for you to be able to walk through the door like that, because there is a right door and you're walking through the right doors. We've already sat down, you know, us before, your management and everything, talked about the opportunities that you've had and things like that. And it's actually extremely dope. Your mindset with the direction that you're going and how you want to maintain that. I personally don't, like, again, I told you this off camera, like I don't cuss unless I'm in an argument with my wife because I'm the human being. You feel me? So like sometimes,
Say twice.
yeah, you know, your emotions get the better of you, and we got to grow as men to control that. But the point that I'm making is that I personally have tried to clean up things about myself. And so whenever I'm dealing with somebody who's trying to clean up for whatever reason, I have a lot of respect for that, you know? So keep doing what you're doing, man, and going in that direction. I know it's more blessings coming for you over there in that realm and everything because we need more people like this. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, straight up. But you,
I feel like in the world, man, it's a lot of, on this podcast, we talk about a lot of things, bro. We talk about music, relationships, politics, religion, everything. I always wanted to make something where it wasn't fake. It was like, hey, what's really happening out here? And because here's the thing about it. We love Moses and his personality. We love you and your personality. They love me. I think they love me and my personality. We love Aggie, bro. I appreciate it. I couldn't say it for myself. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you deal with a person, you want to know, like, are they familiar with something that's happening? What are their views? You know, are you for the right person or not? And so we don't force nobody to speak on any topics you don't want to speak on. But currently right now, I was talking to you about this. You've seen what's going on with the whole like ICE situation and everything like that? What are your thoughts, or I don't know if you want me to, I'll just share mine first. Thoughts on homegirl who got shot by that ICE agent. You did see this, right?
I saw it, but I, you know me, I don't get too deep involved in all that.
Not worried.
The stuff. But I mean, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. It's funny, bro, because okay, I'm gonna name a name on this one too, because this is wild to me. We're getting older. You know who Cam is? The rapper?
Yeah.
Okay, so the songs that he came out with when I was younger, bro, I love those songs and everything like that. And so I'm scrolling down my feed, and then I see him just talking mad trash about the girl who got shot. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, what's happening, right? And so like I commented and I said, like, hey man, like anybody who's glorifying like murder or anything to that sort, because he made it a racial thing of like, oh, she ain't black, or this happened to white people type of situation. Let that, wear. And I'm respectful with it too, because he is my elder, and I always keep that. Like I don't care if you're my up, like we'll have a disagreement, but I'm gonna keep it respectful, and I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not a fan of your music. So my thoughts on it was a bunch of other people tried to get in and try and chime in with that. And I'm just like, what are we doing as a society where if somebody doesn't have the same sexual orientation as you, or if they're not the same race as you, all of a sudden they don't deserve to live, or we look at it as they're not worthy. I don't even have to agree with your lifestyle to say that you're worthy and you deserve life. And I just am I'm tripped out. As a black person in America, bro, who everything we went through and everything, I still feel empathy towards everybody else. I'm never, because we got certain black people who are gonna be like, oh, well, it's not us. We've been going through it for this. I'm not that person, bro. Like we went through it, we still going through it. And I hate to see anybody going through it. I don't care if he's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Mexican, Colombian, white, whatever. I hate to see people going through injustice. And yeah, bro, something's gotta give, bro. I don't know what times we're living through right now, bro.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, shit, I hope it all stops. But will it? I don't know if it's gonna stop it.
I think it's a thing of like who's in power at that moment because of like the temperature that they're setting out in society, right? So they're making things okay, and you make people braver to take certain actions that they initially wouldn't have took. So if you're creating a society where you're telling people like, hey, if they don't talk like you, if they don't sound like you, then they don't deserve to be here. Then you got all the clowns jumping up now talking about like, yeah, he doesn't sound like me. You know, like this is my country and whatnot. And then when you turn around and tell those same people, you try and throw God into it. And I think that's what irritates me about what's going on right now is like, I love God, bro. I love God, and that's what leads my life. And so when people misrepresent and use him for what it is that they're doing, and I don't even believe that they believe in God in the first place, that's when it becomes an issue. So my thoughts were, they say that she used her vehicle as a weapon. From what you saw at all,
Yeah, I didn't even see the video. I'm talking. I just saw like a post.
you saw a post about
I
it.
didn't see no video, bro.
Yeah, she was going like 3 miles an hour, and you
Oh,
saw.
I saw it, man. You know, I don't really get too political, to be quite honest with you. But it's there's certain situations like that. I mean, what's wrong with shooting the tire out, or set it with spikes down, or
Just move her,
or yeah, do something different. I do strongly feel that our law system, or our police and such, they're out there with a heavy responsibility to take life or keep it, preserve it.
Mhm.
I mean, can we perhaps do better in maybe training? Can we, are there other tactics with even therapy? I don't know. I don't have the answers for it. It is very disheartening to see that. I think as a society, we definitely need to do better. And as Moses was saying, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. We can only pray for it. But all of this stuff has been happening for years without social media, without the news coverage. Always been happening. It's just more glorified. I say, let me take that back, not glorified. It's just more accessible and put in our face when we look at our phones, our social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. What's the first thing we see? Violence, the cheese man, the clout. We're being desensitized to a lot of this stuff. And it's just, it ain't right. But I can only hope to bring positive messages with my music, with my words, with my movement, with my platform. I can only pray to God to give me the strength for that.
Right.
And try to make a difference on my behalf.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm doing here, man. Like I see some people who are using the platforms that they have to spread awareness about this, because sometimes people just don't know what's going on. Or, if we allow the wrong people to be the only ones speaking on these situations, then anybody who doesn't go look into it themselves, then they'll think, oh, this is what it is, right? We'll live in a society where they'll tell us like, yeah, she was using her car as a vehicle, so she deserved to die. And everybody be like, she deserved to die. Yeah, she deserved to die. And then everybody's thinking that way, right? And so for me, I just see the pattern. Being Black, bro, I see it all the time where somebody Black does something that's nothing crazy. I've had guns pulled on me for holding a blunt. You feel me? So like, and I could only think like, man, if I would have got shot that day, what would they have said about me? And would anybody be there to oppose the negative things that they're saying about me? Or would they not? Would they just be like going on with life and let my legacy be something that's like tarnished, I think that it's just a thing of, in the Bible, there is a verse about Leviathan, right? And Leviathan is this creature that's massive. And it says that the nations, they try and bring this thing down, like, and it's like, who could pierce its flesh? Who could put a ring through its nose and lead it this way? Who could do these things? And the whole purpose is that none of us could. The only person that could do that is Jesus Christ. And so I'm a firm believer that, like, I don't think every issue can be solved by humans, but I just know we should be moving in a specific direction for ourselves, for our own personal souls, being educated as much as we can be on certain things. I see a lot of like revolutions taking places in other places in the world right now. And then that leads me to think like, what are we learning like as Americans? Like, like they're telling us as Americans only so much we can do. But I can look to another country today and be like, dang, they just took their government straight back. And then they're actually changing the way that things are operating. One of my favorite places right now for the audience and everybody listening, and I'm going to keep bringing this one up, and I need y'all to look into this, is Burkina Faso. I urge people to go look at Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore. He's what is he, like 37-year-old captain, president of Burkina Faso right now, took his government back and completely flipped the script, kicked the French up out of there. Well, now they're using their own gold to fix their economy. actually building the housing units that they're supposed to help their people, providing farmers with tractors and everything for free at the expense of all the things that our government tells us we can't do. Like, oh, we can't do it. Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for us to be decent human beings? Who's going to pay for this? You feel me? So I just, I bring these things up, whether anybody has too much to say or not, because I want this to be on film. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to hear this and know about this. So that was my bit today. I feel better now. You good? So yeah, rode away, looked it off my shoulders. You know, appreciate both of you guys for letting me get that off my chest.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, bro.
Ooh, excuse me. That about time? For the 3.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes. Did you have anything you want to talk about?
Just keep it flowing. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm good with it. Do you have any suggestions at all? Okay.
I think no. So no, we can wrap it, man. Like we had a good one today.
We should keep it going. Bash time. What?
No, saying like we'll wind it down. Sorry, I missed. Excuse me, wrong terminology. What projects are you working on right now? Are you working on a project at this moment?
I'm working on singles right now. I've been doing so. After the last project, Limitless project that we did with Universal, that was successful and tremendously successful. And Seek this last year from 24 to 25, we had hella placements with WWE, NFL playoffs at the beginning of last year and end of 2024. A lot of reality TV, not only domestic, but foreign, overseas. Like Love Island. I looked at my ASCAP, Love Island, Australia, and certain ones in Europe. So really dope to showcase my capabilities and to see that my music's spreading all over the world, not just generally LA or California. And I'm proving to myself again and again and again after the initial Street Fighter placements, that I could continue to do this, and there's longevity in this for me. So it's opened up my perspective to chasing more placements. I've already done TV, already done video games. I really want to get a movie this year, and I'm manifesting it now. God willing, to get music on that new Street Fighter movie, since I've already done the game. Shout out to Capcom and shout out to everybody involved. 50 Cent's on it. Andrew Schultz, Jason Momoa, heavy hitter actors, Right. So that's what I'm working towards right now. I'm also working towards leveraging my credits for sponsorships, for partnerships. This year, I would say it's all about leveraging, but also continuing to see what's next, because that's what matters, right? What'd you do this year? I don't want to hear what you did last year, 2-3 years ago.
Right.
How are you relevant now, especially in the sync category? So competitive. Not a lot of artists get to even break into it. I'm just really proud of myself for continuing to level up and be there. And I'm in amazement too. I stand back and I'm like, damn, these placements are crazy. Like, who would have ever thought a kid from East LA would be on a global platform like Capcom, Japan, and WWE, which is worldwide. The playoffs, NFL. I mean, I'm a big football fan, So to see my music and a lot of the stuff that I'm interested in personally, especially video games, TV and such, it's dope, man. And I'm really blessed for that. I do remind myself all the time, like, hey, it could easily be gone. Like, you could have never had these placements. You could still be struggling, asking people to check out my Spotify or my SoundCloud link or whatever the case is, God's giving me this platform with the placements and such. I feel very strongly that it's opened up my eyes to see that it's giving me a voice on my platform. Just respect that I've always wanted as an artist and a producer, to show my capabilities and to excel. So I'm going to continue to do that. Meanwhile, continue to look for the signs, where I could help, where I could be a good fit. This week, a couple of days ago, I did something totally out of the norm. I went and participated with a group called Malachi Dads at Chino State Prison. It's where the pastors go and minister to men, and they teach them the Bible. And every couple of months, they give them certificates for completing certain chapters of the Bible. And just to sit there in the prison, it was an experience already, man. You know, it's crazy because it's like, damn, like one screw up and you could be here, you know. But to hear the man's testimony, to hear how God has hopefully, changed their lives, talking about how it's made them better husbands, better sons, better fathers, better family men. It really resonated with me and gave me that sense of humbleness. I'm like, these guys are so happy with learning the Bible and learning faith and being good for their fam. Again, what is life when you think about it? I mean, it could be that simple, it could be so complex, but you got to be grateful for everything that's going on. When I shared the man my accomplishments in music, I got a round of applause from everybody because I use it as my testimony, which is true. I'm like, hey, the music industry is very kept, it's very twisted, per se. And I'm like, people are looking at me like, how'd you get all these placements? And I'm like, I paused on purpose while I was talking to the men. And I'm like, God. And everybody started clapping and hollering. I'm like, yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yep.
One thing I did want to bring up, I think we were talking about earlier, maybe before we started, patience. That's something that I could definitely attribute to grandparents. And definitely teach you a lot of patience. You have to have it. And even in this industry too, I'm always so happy-go-lucky, like, hey, I need this to happen today, tomorrow. And the one thing that I can always attest to is that God has truly slowed me down and shown me that you must be patient.
Yeah.
No matter if you like it or not. And I hate it at times. But then I understand, okay, this is why certain opportunities miss me. This is why I wasn't supposed to be around certain people.
Exactly.
As it might have been plotting or whatever the case might have been,
I definitely attest to that, and I've learned to love slowness. Ironically, right? Some people would be like you shouldn't, but I do. I love the pace. I love God's pace for the reasons that you just said. I know everything. If somebody presents me and him with an opportunity, which happens like a lot, and then sometimes those things come to fruition, and sometimes they don't. He'll tell you, I don't care either way, because I'm like, if it happened, I know that it was supposed to, and if it didn't happen, I'm like, bro, like God just said this. I don't even have to wait to get to that point to see why it didn't happen, because he'll always show you afterwards. Yeah, it may be 2 months later on down the road, then he'll show you, and then 2 years later, and he was sitting there like, oh man, but I'm ahead of that. So like, as soon as it doesn't work, I'm happy that day. I will get down on my knees and pray that day and be like, God, thank you for making that not work out. Whatever it is.
It's not the best thing that will happen for you. There's plenty of other opportunities that are gonna come when you wait.
I think something that I did want to mention to you about looking at your journey and like where you are and everything like that. And I think that this is like one of the keys to success which is something that I never had, right? And I see you have it. You have a solid team. You have people who support your vision. They see it. You guys share a vision and go in a direction, and they help you wherever they can. And it seems like, because I talked to them, we sat down and had lunch together. I talked to your man right here for a good, like almost an hour before we start going on, and picked everybody's brain, and I see where they're at, and nobody's on no BS. Everybody's on something that's serious, something moving in a positive direction. Yeah. I can attest that I haven't always had that around me. It'd always be me, like before Moses was another, because now Moses is here, and we're making progress with our team.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
Hey, what's important is you are identifying and realizing that you are building the right team.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, fortunately for me, a lot of my friends have always been older than me. So, it's huge. Yeah, for getting me game all the time, putting me on game. And I do appreciate that. It does not go in one ear and out the other. Sometimes it may seem to be like that because I'm so consumed with everything else. But I always go back and like, hey, remember what the homie was telling me about this? All right, let me look into this. Oh, you sent me a YouTube video. Send me this. All right, I'm going to check it out. Maybe I'm at the gym or whatever. But it's very important, and I always say too, people come into your life as a lesson or a blessing, straight up, and it's up to you to decide what they are. And I said, sometimes it's not, but you should be able to identify a lot sooner.
Yeah, for sure. I think, Man, this was a great episode. Everything that we were able to get into.
Yeah.
One thing that we're adding to this show now, every segment. So all future guests, be prepared for this. We giving shout outs, we giving flowers out. You know what I mean? It's not about us. It's about what we can recognize, because someday somebody will sit up here and be giving you your flowers. So what we asking you today is to give a ball shout out to somebody that you know. It doesn't have to be to somebody that you work with. Maybe you've seen them from a distance, but you just admire whatever it is of those qualities that you believe makes them a boss.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always, baffled by some of one of the artists I've always looked up to is 50 Cent as an entrepreneur too. So it's always great to see what he's doing. A man's a genius, right? But on a more close proximity, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Andy. They've known each other for a very long time, but since day one, man, he's always been kicking me game, putting me up on knowledge, you know what I'm saying, sending me stuff, questioning me in the sense of like, hey, like making me think, you know? And I know there's a lot of energy and information that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to offer me, but I do appreciate that. So I see him going to his business. I see his progressions. I've known personal testaments of, where he's came from, where he's at. I definitely do appreciate the relationship. I definitely do want to learn more, and looking at him as a potential, like as a mentor,
Right.
Also want to give a shout out to my boy 33. As mentioned, a little bit older than me. I'm not gonna give away his age, but always there, backing me up, having these conversations like men to men, I'm saying, the healthy conversations that we should have when we're feeling low or feeling unmotivated,
Right.
It's been a blessing to have a homie like to lean on in the sense of and to relate, because we're from the same place, So those are my two nominations right there, Just shout out to me.
Hey, ball shout out.
Shout out Andy and 30.
Hey, Andy and 33. Okay. So
Let's have a monsoon,
yeah, for sure. Tell us, bro. Like
You could always come on again anytime you want, bro. Bring that on. It'll be a great time.
we'll throw 45 couches out here. Stacked up 2 rows. Yeah, for all you man. Be like, hey, what did you say up there? Like that. Get everybody.
We'll make it happen, bro. I'm like,
That's right. And I also want to give a big shout out to myself too.
There you go.
that's right. Yes, sir. We deserve that, bro. You got to give flowers for yourself too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to go ahead and wrap us up, man. And
Yeah, thank you everybody for listening. First episode of the new year. We're back and we're stronger than ever, and we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna be very consistent with it. And thank you again for coming on, Randy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro. Give the people, what you working on next. And they can find you again.
Yeah, stay in touch with my socials, and it's Randy Marx, but randymarx.com. I don't really have an answer for what's next, but whatever it is going to be dope. It's going to do great. That's simple as that.
Yeah,
I don't have a call to action today, but I'm a call to action in the day. Yeah.
and you said you want to get into movies, and we got a production company. We write scripts and everything, bro. So we definitely gonna make some shit out.
yeah,
I got some stories. I got some people's stories. We can figure it out.
make some shade, man, for sure.
So
That's another episode of Boss Time.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. Peace it.